What's up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again. We're here. The thing that you all been waiting for, the Konosuba Legend of Crimson set review. I hope you guys are ready to hear me, Andy, and Brian complain, or be very happy. Probably Brian very happy, especially.
I'm sure Brian won't be complaining.
Brian's not
This
complaining.
card's an S. Great. My playset's on the way.
Welcome everybody to Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz argues about cards for 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, I got a playset out of Brian's case, so I'm already pretty set. But yeah, I guess let's jump right into it. I think that's enough of a lead-in for what pretty much everyone probably expects from us at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's hit it.
All right, Andy, you're up.
Got Kimono Darkness, looking fabulous, I might say. It's level 1 double rare. She's 5,000 power on your turn. When you play it, look at 4 cards, choose a climax, add them to your hand, discard the remaining ones, and then discard a card if you take a climax. What's that card called?
Kome. On death, Kome.
Not on play. Yeah.
Yeah, staged to waiting room.
Staged to waiting room.
Still really stupid. This is the only Kome coming to English, right? Like we don't have that effect.
I don't believe so.
That is not an effect in English, I don't think. Or if it is, it's in a set that's irrelevant.
I don't think we do.
Yeah, I don't know Kome. I only know Darkness. I only play English.
So notably, this is just actually free mill. Like
it is free mill, but I don't think it's like broken in the same way that something like Kome is.
Oh yeah, main phase would be better.
The same level. The fact that this is at level 1 and it has to die means you can't like hit your level 1
combo. Well, think about this.
Play Darkness, find your combo. You would have to specifically play over this.
You can play over it, yeah.
Well, here's the
you're
thing.
Minusing then, which sucks. You're minusing
you minus
your chance
1
to hit your climax.
You -1, but however, unlike a Chiuri, you don't have to pitch a card for the effect to go off. The effect is costless. So if you clock, draw, and play over this card, you could possibly dig 7 cards into a climax for your turn, and then there's a climax swapper now. So I think that alone in a set that has the ability to plus as hard as Konosuba does, even on first deck, the on death I think is somewhat negligible. I think that Konosuba would happily take -1 to set up something like Union or the Nuke Darkness combo that we'll look at into a bit. I think it would happily go -1 if it needed to. Like it has stuff to. Like I think
it's if you need to though. I think like the timing on it is the worst part. Like the fact that you want to be probably filtering the top 4 cards of your deck the turn you play this to get your Light of Saber or Union combo or whatever, right?
Yeah, whatever combo you decide to play.
Comboing that same turn is kind of the fact that you want to do both on the same turn, and this is a death trigger.
Yeah,
you have to like specifically play this card and then specifically play over it in minus for a chance. Not even a guarantee, but
I think the fact that it's free. It's the fact that it's free mill. Like any free mill 4, I think is close to broken. Even if you if you have to play over it, I think. Like how many times have you just been in those situations where it's like, damn, I need to move through this deck, and I can't afford to pay one to brainstorm. But
you give the initiative to your opponent though.
Well, no. I'm saying this is in the case you play over. I'm saying in those situations you'd happily -1 because what if you like are stuck with a level 1 Chiuri like Slime and you have to mill out and it's correct to mill out, but you actually -1 because you don't have any level 1s or higher left in your deck. This is just straight better than that in those situations.
Yeah, I got you. Like you do what you gotta do, but that doesn't mean it's.
Well, no, I
don't
think it's
terrible.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying like that situation alone, and I have to disagree with you on the playover thing. I think the playover thing is actually totally fine. I think that you take a -1 to get into a climax combo in the situations where getting into your climax combo would be.
But is it worth splashing
preferable.
yellow into your deck for this card then?
There's enough yellow fix.
I think trying to hit yellow at 1 for this specific card that doesn't even guarantee grab your.
They have some. Climax. There's a lot of really stupid yellow cards.
That's very build dependent, I think.
Like
speaking of build, I do play a lot of mono yellow Konosuba with the level 1 Vonnier that needs to ditch a climax to change into the level 3. This is an exciting include for that.
I don't know if you still play that with the merge.
Deck, yeah.
I don't know if you still play that with the merge, though. I don't think you can.
I love my damage scry, Carmen. You can't take it away from me.
Starting at level 1. 0 hand, damage, 2 damage scries. First deck. But yeah, I think the big thing, like, you see a level 1 yellow, and it's like, oh, like, that's kind of a liability. Am I going to be able to play it? I've had absolutely no problems fielding this card whenever I wanted to, with only, like, 9 to 11 yellow, which was fillable by nothing but this card, the broken Climax Swapper. Well, not broken, very good Climax Swapper. And the repeatable Ricky, the Takitsubo from set 1, which work really well with the new Gate combo and, like, the Aqua Pants combo, which we can get into when we get to these cards. I just think that, like, Komei's really stupid, even when it's on death, and even if you have to play over it, and the baseline is that this is a 5k on your turn body, that when it dies is a free mill for on first deck. I don't think I can give this card any less than an A. But or not even an A plus. Dude, free mill's too good. Like, even in those situations, I think, like, playing over it, like, -1 to mill 4, and you don't have to ditch an additional card to get the effect to kick. Like,
it's like saying when the card's bad, it's good. It's like
no. It's
jump through hoops to make it work.
Well, it's a way to use the card. I don't think you have to think about it as to put it. You put this card in your deck, and even if all you said about this card was this is a card where it says -1 dig 4 for CX. I think that's good enough to include by itself. In most decks that are so over-reliant on Climax combos. And we're even just talking about the mid-game. Let's not even talk about how you need to dig into literally a Climax, any Climax, because you have a Climax Swapper, to do your finishing combo. That alone, you would happily take a -1 to do in any game.
It definitely gets better as the game goes on. It's not as good as a normal Komei effect at your level 1 combo turn, but it remains useful throughout the game, and sometimes dying on the opponent's turn can be better, give you better control over your deck.
This gets a lot better when you consider the context of the new level 1 Climax combo of choice in the set, which is it's like the Saikana one. It's gets Twin Drive and Pop Back, and then it swings in for 55. So recurring your Climax combo every turn, and, like, just keeping a bunch of hand and, like, being able to sculpt with the rest of the cards in your hand is really powerful, and this card just allows you to do that. Also considering that the Climax Swapper is extremely good and mills 3 cards on play, so you could, like, mill the what if you mill the Climax you want? You can, like, play over this, and then get a Climax, swap it for the correct Climax, execute your Climax combo, continue to loop it every single turn. It's really powerful. I've had a lot of testing with this. I know this is like, this sounds a little weird. It's like you're gonna play over it and all this other stuff, and you can loop combo. But, like, I gotta say trust, because, like, I've been playing that list, like, a good bit. It's pretty nasty, pretty consistent, and this card's a big reason. This card's a lot stupider than it seems. Because you think, like, oh, it's Komei, but it's gotta die and other stuff. It's really not bad.
I don't know. I do not trust Fam. I do not trust Fam on this one. I would probably give it. I don't want to give the impression that's bad. My knee jerk is to give it, like, a C, because it seems like a tech
what
card.
The fuck?
Like, you run it if you need it, and it's kind of like an off color.
2 to 4. The thing, you got to stop thinking that yellow's an off color anymore. Like, it's not. The Magic deck isn't the only thing now. That's the thing. You just have to think about it as cards, and every color is valid. It's not like how it was before. Which I guess is a good thing to, like, bring up on the first card, right? It's like this is an argument on the first card. You can't just think about only the Magic deck. There's a lot of extremely strong tools in all the colors in Konosuba now, across all 3 of its sets. It just makes me sick thinking about. And this effect is, like, I don't know how you can read the effect and say it's not broken.
I don't have it in English yet, so I think it's like pretty safe. But
Homemades,
I don't know, I'll give it the bump up to like B tier. I'm still gonna give it like the minus though, because I think it's more of a techie card. But I will give it the benefit of the doubt that there's more of a reason to play yellow than just this card. I don't think that this card alone is worth splashing yellow.
I don't know how you
maybe
can.
Maybe that would be a better way to play it.
I don't know how you can play Kome in JPI mass and then look at another Kome that's even slightly worse and say it's not broken. Like legitimately.
I can tell you exactly why I'd say it is because this is a different color. The IMAX.
Oh, the guy already told you the color doesn't matter.
I think it matters a little bit.
Right.
The fact that you have to play over it.
Okay, what if your deck was mono yellow?
You have to take. I still wouldn't like it that much because you have to play over it, and you're not guaranteed getting your climax. You're taking a minus and saying, "Well, I hope this climax is in the top 4 cards," but this is Weiss.
Getting your climax in the top 7 cards. Well, okay, think about it this way. So this card allows you to go through 7 cards.
You're favored to get it in the top 7 cards.
Yes, but even if you don't, you did that on first deck. You moved 7 cards closer to your next deck. And you can still now brainstorm.
You had to hard minus for it. There's other ways to get mill. You could just play something that mills on play.
What mills on play?
Or a normal Akatsuki effect.
What mills on play? Which Konosuba doesn't have.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know. But
Nuisance. Nuisance is Chiuri. They have Chiuri. Chiuri is on death.
Yeah,
this card is also on death.
Hand for that.
They do not have access.
That's at level 0. I like it more.
They do not have access to... I don't think the level matters too much between 0 and 1 for this kind of effect. About moving through first deck. In the situation...
The real killer for me is just that you want to be doing this on the same turn, most likely, that you're going to do your level 1
and
combo,
you're hung up on the minus
that
1.
You're going to have to hard minus over it for a chance. Not a guarantee, but a chance that you get your climax. And now you're splashing in all these different colors, too. It just...
You're not splashing in different colors. You're in yellow in... most lists that would run this card, pretty much every list that would want to run this card is going to be in yellow. And it's not a big deal to have yellow in your deck anymore. It's not a monocolor thing anymore. The -1 is worth moving you that much closer to next deck on first deck. And on later decks, 7 cards is literally a guarantee unless you are actually a goldfish that doesn't understand how compression works. Like, I'm pretty sure that it's like... I don't even want to, like, pull up the math, but it's like... It has to be, like, less...
You say milling cards on first deck's so great, you consistently say how shitty mill 4 events are. Consistently.
Because this card...
That's how much you don't like them. Those mill you 4 cards, and they always get your card back. They never minus.
They can minus, they don't add climaxes.
Okay,
it's not a strong effect.
Whatever. You're not going to hit 4 climaxes.
This card is also a card can attack.
Likely.
No, you only had 1. It adds a climax to hand. None of those cards add to hand. And this is a card that can attack. Very different use case. Not comparable use case.
I think the mill effect is completely the same. Comparing the mill effect to the mill effect, when the value of it is only the mill on the first deck, just to move.
And not the same, because this card could also attack.
You won't run a mill 4 event because it
can't attack.
Always goes even and mills 4
no,
cards.
because it can't attack.
But
this
you will
can
happily
attack.
Minus for this card.
Yes, because this card could attack if I need an attacker.
So does any creature.
And also has this.
So does anything a mill 4 event would grab.
No, because this also does this.
To a mill 4 event.
Because it's not, because they do extremely different things. Mill 4 events don't grab climaxes. It's a very different use case. I would not play a mill 4 event for a character unless it had a bondable and an engine for it. I would play this card because it mills for a climax and is incidentally getting me closer to my first deck if I somehow my next deck, if I somehow miss. And if I somehow miss a single climax in 7 cards, because we're only talking about a climax in 7 cards on first deck because we have running a climax swapper that we can reasonably select for. If you're doing that, then you're just like, if you whiff then you brainstorm, and if you went 11 cards and you didn't at the very least recoup this card that minused you off your brainstorm and also moved you an additional 4 cards, then going 11 cards, then you were just fated to lose the game anyway. That's like such a disgusting low roll. Like at any point, that I don't think that that's a like reasonable way to evaluate the card. The card is free mill 4 and is an attacker and can possibly add your climax, which is unbelievably valuable that no thing in English can do, and the color is not that big of a deal. Like, I don't even want to talk about the color. I don't want to talk about the thing. I think on death Kome in any way is just like fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Way too good. And it's worth running yellow for. I think this card's really, really dumb.
I don't know. I think I've said, everything I've needed to say. I think I've really put my point out there on it. I'm still very hung up on the fact that it has to die, and that the timing on it's just really awkward. But
yeah, I mean, if you're fishing for a level 1 combo with it, it's a little bit awkward, but it gets like exponentially better,
I really don't.
As the game goes on,
I really don't.
Combo.
But Komes are so good because they dig for your level 1 combo.
Okay, Andy.
Yes.
Follow my logic here.
Okay.
Would you play a card that Akatsuki'd for a climax on play?
Yes.
Okay, what's wrong with this card then? Because it's the exact same card economy.
This is on death.
Okay, you play this card, you play over it. That was a pitch 1 mill top 4 for 1 CX. Same card economy.
Because when I Akatsuki, I can play it that turn and I don't have to minus.
You've just played this turn. You do minus. Because you would Akatsuki for a climax. I said Akatsuki for a climax. You still have a chance to minus. You said you'd play it. The same card economy. It's the same thing. -1. Check top 4 for a CX. Wait. Would you play a?
I thought you meant like a,
yeah.
Like
discard. If this card had a, if this card was on play, and said discard a card, check top 4 for a CX, add 1. You're saying you would not play that card because that sounds like a broken effect to me, and that's what this card says.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that you're looking at the card in the wrong way. It's like, yeah, you can run it in, you can crash it, and then you can look for your CX, sure. If you're, like, going to have another level 1 turn, or you're, like, setting up for your finisher, you're trying to get into a CX, like, you stop at the first CX because you're holding CX swapper so you can do your finisher, sure. Those are all super valid ways to use the card, and probably how the card is intended to be used. However, you can also just play over the card, and it's the same card economy as that effect I described, where it would be on play, ditch a card, check top 4, add CX if you find them.
I mean, that's... If you whiff, it's like way worse then, though. Then
sure, if you whiff, it's way worse. I have to
play this darkness, then I have to play my union over this darkness. If I end up not drawing into my combo, now
You're too locked into thinking about union combo.
It's gonna die, and I'm not gonna get my
You're
combo.
too locked into thinking about union combo. Just think about the effect itself. Checking top 4 for a climax. A card that you play over it, checking top 4 for a climax. That's an extremely powerful effect. That's what I'm trying to get across here. That's extremely, extremely powerful no matter what, is what I'm trying to say. That is very, very strong. The consistency... What deck has a consistency tool like that right now? Not even English. Literally just JP IMAS has that effect. I'm pretty sure.
I think
they do not print Kome.
I think we're just getting hung up on this. I'm just gonna give it back what I had before. I think that's kind of where I want to stick with it.
Yeah, I don't mean to like argue forever about the first card, but this is way too strong. Like I have to fight for it. This is extremely good. I
don't think it's an A+. Like
it's ridiculously good.
Right card.
I mean, you'd give Kome an S. Kome's an S tier card.
Kome's level 0 and it's on play.
Yeah, and this card does. They're the only demerit is pitch 1. It's the color. I don't think matters at all. I think this is an A+ card. I think it's almost S. Ability is too dumb. There's a reason this effect is never printed and is banned to this day in an completely irrelevant deck.
A much better card is banned.
Well,
this is like the nerfed garbage effect, not the super good banned one.
No, I think this is literally almost as good. It is like half a point worse. Hence the A+. Drew, do you want to rate this card? Drew's joining us, jumping in.
Is he in?
I'm not sure. He's here somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, never mind. He'll pop in eventually. But yeah, I guess we can move on. I just had to show for it. This is This is just absurdly strong.
Like, no, you make strong points, dude. Don't be down on yourself, man.
Oh my god.
It's the incubator. It's just all the discussion that goes into it, man.
No.
You're doing great, Carmen.
Oh my god.
You got
fucking
this.
Don't patronizing me. This card's fucking broken. Not gonna hear it. The first time Andy gets this card played against him and the person climax combos every turn off of it, he's gonna say, damn, everybody was right. Next card.
I'll be like, damn, that's a B tier card.
Alright, let's talk
Confirmation bias.
This Darkness Climax combo, Muscle Brain Crusader Darkness. Level 3 gets 500 power for each of your other adventure or magic characters, sits at 11k. When this card is placed onto the stage from your hand or by the effect of Merge, look at top 3, take 1. When this card attacks, if the choice is in your climax area and your board is full of adventurer or magic characters, until the end of the opponent's turn, this gains the following ability. Once per turn, when damage dealt by the character opposite this, or by this character is cancelled, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So this card reads until the end of your opponent. So when this card attacks, if its damage cancels, your opponent burns 1, and then when your opponent attacks you, if they cancel, you burn them 1.
Merge, so it comes down at level 2 hyper consistently, which we're gonna see the consistency tools for how absurd this can be in the next couple of cards. There's practically no way to whiff this merge. I think.
Considering the Konosuba Yellow has the Kome for Climax that we were just talking about, and they also have a spoiler alert Climax swap that we mentioned a number of times, also in yellow.
Also a level 1 Goblin Slayer-esque combo that searches for either part of this. A pay 1, ditch 2 double drop search for their merge pieces. It is quite literally impossible to whiff this merge. I would say
merge, it looks pretty good.
I would say even it is almost impossible to whiff double of this merge. I don't think it's possible to not resolve 2 of these on your first level 2 turn. Pretty stupid.
I'm torn now. I love my damage scribe, but this seems pretty good.
Top check 3, add 1. Probably one of the better things you can see on merge because merge is so hand intensive. Cantripping is really good.
It's the power across turn, and even without the climax combo, it's really good. One thing to mention with the combo is to get the cancel burn on your opponent's turn, you have to have a full field still. So,
correct.
If they can like remove one of your characters on their turn, or beat one of your characters in combat with a backup or something.
No, it's when it kicks.
No, actually, it's
when it
only
kicks.
When this card, it's when it attacks. It gets the effect until the end of the opponent's turn.
Only checks on attack. So you don't even have to have your full field live. It only has to pass the check on its attack.
Oh, dang. That's even better.
Yeah, card's dumb. There's, I believe, Christian Yarbrougher from Strictly Broken has been messing with a deck that runs this as his primary win condition. And he says it's pretty good. I've looked at the list a lot. It looks kind of spicy, but it's pretty damn good. I think the big thing with this is the consistency tools. Burn 1 is good in English. Unfortunately, Memory Snow will be out when this drops.
It's just such a good early
but play. I don't even think that matters.
It's 11k cross turn, looks at 3 on play.
Yeah. There's also like
board compression with markers.
There's a really good support that gives you, like, in this new set, it's an Aqua, and like, come on, you're running Snakwa, you're Konosuba. I don't think that matters like what build you're playing. You just run Snakwa. So you have the blue fix. 2/1 support. 2k to level 3's in front, perfect for this card, and then you can tap it to give a character on your turn bottom deck your opponent's character. This is an early play that kills your opponent's hand-on core early plays, like other Konosuba decks and Slime. So it's just like, if you're walling up at level 2, it's just like pretty well positioned in general. Like, even if you're not climax comboing, it's worth putting down. just to get the compression. And like it moves through your additional cards, so you can like get into your next deck, keep your market compression. You don't have to risk losing the card. Really good synergy. Pretty easy A, I think.
Yeah, seems pretty
I think
good.
it's the consistency tools that make it, though. I think the card in a vacuum, if you were just slamming this and you weren't getting the markers and it wasn't an easy to tutor and stuff, I wouldn't be as up on it. But Climax combo's pretty good. Tripping merge, very nice.
I mean, given what Konosuba has now and only what we've seen to this point, I'd say this card is pretty solid even without the tools that you talked about. So I guess it's even better than that.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. Like I don't
Yeah.
even know what the other stuff is, and I'm still giving it an A+.
I don't know how you guys could say this about this and then be down on the Kome, but we'll talk about that later, I guess.
We love darkness cards.
But yeah, this early play is really good. It's good that Darkness has like an actual thing to do at level 2 instead of like cheese. Like this like reads a lot better.
Such a hater.
I am a hater. All right, moving on. This is the first merge piece here. It's 500 frontal. It has an act ability. Ditch this card. Rest this. Choose any adventure or magic character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Repeatable drop salvage every turn for every additional copy of this card.
Is this card forest rest?
It's a copy of
that
itself.
You rest this. You ditch a copy of itself, rest this card, drop salvage. So if you're running merge, you run 4 of this just because every card that comes into your hand is a card from your grave, every additional copy. And then, fixes for itself. The other thing is like your level 1 combo grabs this, and then you have a double drop search for this. So you always have like grave access every turn.
You know what I really like about it is that 500 back row assists can get kind of cloggy because you only have so many
just
back
throw
row
them.
spots, and you really only want to see one of them, but you want to see it early.
Well, you want to see multiple copies of this anyway because it's a merge piece.
Right.
Well, I mean that's more incentive, but like even I guess just in general too, like being able to, even if it wasn't a merge piece, you could still just happily run 4 of it. Have your back row assist and then. Just filter every other copy out of your hand.
This also has a built-in consistency tool with your level 1 combo where, say you mill your level 1 and you have an additional one of these, or you drop search for an additional one of these with your double drop search going into your level 1 turn. You ditch this, your extra copy of this, rest it, you grab your other level 1 combo, and then you just grab it back for the next turn. If you hit the level 2, you use it to play an additional merge, and if you don't, you have access to your grave to grab back another level 1 combo and do something again. So it's just like really strong consistency tool for merge. I think it's like probably probably the best like level 0 merge thing I've seen. Wow, the hero from like Frank's is pretty good, but this is really good.
Yeah, I mean even without the merge, it seems workable. I'd say, but
might be a B+. No, I mean you only just a B because you'd only play it in the merge deck.
Yeah, that's where my slash is coming in there. The B is for the merge deck. The C+ is if you were just running 4 of these in like a non-merge deck.
Yeah. I mean, as far as being the level 0 merge piece, though, seems pretty good.
Man, right. Konosuba's looking good.
We've seen 3 cards.
Man,
it's also been half an hour. 20 minutes on Kome, 10 minutes on the last 2 cards. All right, here you go, Andy.
Oh, we got this Darkness looking hella thick. We play this card. You can mill 3. You'll love this card, Carmen. I can hear him typing the S right now. When you play this from your hand to stage, you can pay 1 discard a climax. If you do choose a climax in your waiting room and return to your hand, you probably are typing an S.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking stupid.
Climax swap with an
is a good
wow, 2K climax stopper, free mill 3, climax swap in Konosuba sounds really stupid.
Yeah, I like
it. I don't think.
Really good?
Yeah, I think it has to be A+. It's pretty dumb. I was between A+ and A, but this card's really stupid, especially in combination with Kome. Getting you into a climax.
Yeah, the fact that you can just dig into any climax and then swap.
Or any of their cards that top check 3 at the top end. You literally get a climax, get the other one. Like, come on. Like, every build plays 2 of this card, I think. Like, I think.
Dude, I hope they have an SP of this card. This is like a.
No, I don't think so.
Is there an SR of this card?
I don't think so. There's an SP of the Kome.
I know there's an SP of the Kame. If there's an SR of this, I'm gonna need it.
I want SRs of this. I'm pretty sure you run 1 to 2 of this in every Konosuba deck, like straight up. This is just way too fucking dumb.
Oh man, I hope there's so many SRs and SPs for this set. That way, so many packs will get opened, and my Soviet cards will be even cheaper. I can get the deck literally for free, maybe.
All right, we moving on. Yep.
All right, let's talk about Important Fellow, Kazuma. When this card is placed from hand to the stage, you may rest one of your other adventurer or magic characters. If you do, choose a card in your level and a card in your waiting room and swap them. Then when another one of your adventurer or magic characters attacks, this gets 1,500 till end of turn, so it can go up to 7.
So I guess I gotta ask, like, how important is the climax swapping, or
do they have like a
level swapping thing?
Do they have like a Milky-esque thing going on?
I have no idea.
I guess we'll have to see. Like,
is there like an experience condition you're looking for or something?
It's either unbelievably necessary to activate some sort of Milky Holmes. I guess if you only play English, the Fate Apocrypha standby deck does this. The Milky-esque, like, you have to put a climax in level zone to get a strong effect. And then
I don't know. I think just like,
I don't know, the fact that it's not a back row.
Tough to evaluate.
Yeah.
Like,
a
1/0 that shoots up to 7k on attack is nothing special. It's just like, how good is that level effect?
Yeah,
do we want to maybe like
doesn't
like come back at the end and do this?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I'm just gonna give it like a C minus because it's a.
Like, it is. I just don't know.
It has a useful effect for a 7k beater, but if there's no like payoff like Milky Holmes or Apocrypha or whatever for putting shit in your level zone, then
you would never play it.
You'd never play it, yeah. Especially as a rare. I feel like there has to be some kind of synergy.
I'm sure.
But the fact that it's not a card that sits in your back row, every other card like this is a card that sits in back row. It's either an assist, or it gives out power, or something like that. Or it's like has filter. I think the Apocrypha one has like climax combo filter. So we'll come back to it, I guess.
It's either going to be something else in yellow, I imagine, or it might be something in blue, because a lot of the blue cards do a lot with Kazuma cards too.
Yeah, maybe it helps you hit your spicy color splash.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Seems pretty not worth. All right. This is me, right? Okay, so we got the darkness combo that I talked about. For each of your other adventurer magic characters gets 500 power, so it's possible cross turn 6k. Climax combo with the wind. When this attacks, as long as you have 2 or more other adventurer magic characters, choose one of the following 2 effects and perform it. You choose either of the 2 merge pieces in your waiting room or in your library and add them to your hand. It's Goblin Slayer for merge pieces. You can only grab 1 for each one that you combo with, but it grabs from either waiting room or deck. So if you play the merge, you probably play this just because it's on attack +1 from deck.
That seems pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, especially when one of the cards exchanges for anything in your grave the following turn. Seems pretty dumb. Seems pretty good.
I do like that. Like, even if you have like you get 3 of these off. Let's say you get like triple field, and like you already have your merge set up in your hand. You can always just grab an extra level 0 darkness to
just filter out for something else.
Just whatever you need.
Yeah, it's so hard to whiff at least double darkness merge plus the aqua back row, which then is like, that's pretty oppressive if you can also combo that turn. And I mean, your darknesses are top checking 3, so you can probably combo that turn.
Is this better than the current darkness combo right now, Brian?
By a lot.
Assuming you're not running the merge.
No, they just play Shimakaze at level 1 right now. This is miles better than that.
I think you would run this even in non-merge, just to like, you'd add one of the zeros for like a free salvage.
Free plus, yeah.
Although I think you'd have to really give a good reason why you weren't running the merge if you were running.
Well, I'm sure Brian's sitting here thinking about making his keeping his whatever deck he has now. Musashi every turn.
The gears are turning.
Yeah, the wheels of fate are turning. Yeah, pretty good. I think this is just another. This is like it's only for the merge deck.
It's.
I mean, it's like an
It's like A/B. I'm gonna do the slash.
Pretty good, yeah.
Like, that's pretty dumb. Like, it's
Yeah.
a cross turn 6K that grabs a card that exchanges for like the baseline is it grabs a card that exchanges for a card from waiting room the following turn. Oh, that just makes it so safe. Like, think about it. Like, you say you combo off, right?
If you're not running the merge though, then you have to be running a lot of copies of the
Oh yeah,
like,
you have to run 4.
Kind of shoehorn yourself into running 4 assists.
Well, think about how safe it is, right? Like, as a level 1 combo, right? You do it, it tanks up for a costless level 1 combo on your opponent's turn. God forbid you get hit to level 2, you have 2 merge pieces in your hand. Like, you have 2 merges set. Like, straight up. You definitely have it by that point. So you have your 2 merges set up, or you're still at level 1, you can play your zeros like to filter for additional level 1 beaters to answer your opponent's board if they hit over stuff. Like, I don't know, like loops into itself almost. If you like can get back into the climax with Kome, it shouldn't be too hard if you like 2-lane it. Like, and the climax swapper. It just seems like really stupid in terms of like safeness and consistency. You either set yourself up for level 2 or you have another level 1 turn. Because of how the level 0 works.
Yeah, I mean, on attack guaranteed plus from deck potentially, if you know the cards in there, seems perfectly serviceable. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a reason to want to play Darkness.
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Good card's good.
Oh my god, Carmen, I'm back. Your laundry's done.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Drew's here.
Drew's finally here.
Can I do life now? Your laundry's all done. It's all folded. It's ready to go.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right. No problem.
Alright, so that was me. So this card's yours.
Cosmo with a rifle.
Wait, my favorite. He's got a cat. He's got a rifle. America. 1/1 when it becomes reversed. If the level of the battle opponent of this is higher than the level of your opponent, you may place that character in stock. If so, put the bottom card of your opponent's stock in the waiting room. Slime has this. Slime runs this as a one-of.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's if you want to run an anti-change bomb, a 1/1 anti-change bomb is better than a 2/1 anti-change bomb.
Dude, I feel like a stock. I feel like with Slime being around now, I feel like a stock anti-change bomb is really good.
Yeah, the fact that it sends to a zone where you can't encore it is really nice.
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
Konosuba in this set also has the early play which shall not be named.
Oh god, the Megamine. Yeah, the
Union, yeah.
The thing that's even easier to set up than Shizu. Well,
something easier?
I don't know. 2 or less climaxes versus the mass thing. I think I think for their specific sets, they're equivalently easy.
It's not even a mask. It's like, hey, this is your level 1 climax combo. If it's reversed without a climax combo, it doesn't
I like
matter.
that it's yellow. It's more incidental yellow that you can add to your deck for a card that's a tech card, where when in the situations you play it, you're not gonna have color issues. Yeah, just good card. That's better than a normal anti-change bomb, which I'd give a B, just because.
So do you think that the way things are going is they're just power creeping 2/1 anti-changes? They're just making them level 1s now?
Well, as they print cards like Shiroha in all formats that are like 2/1s at level 1, their decks need to have answers to them.
Yeah.
So this is a natural progression. It's also an answer to Standby. Yeah, they all have soul triggers. Yeah. It's also answers to standby decks. It's answers to 2/2s at level 1. So it was just a natural answer to the prevalence of standby in cards like Shiroha. That come
I guess with standby and stuff too,
gonna...
they start letting you play higher level cards earlier and earlier.
Yep, this is just the natural progression.
Like, with the inclusion of like Bunko and 8 standby bullshit, I feel like they have to. That's like this is like the kind of profile they're leaning towards to get around that.
Yeah,
there's a lot more standby in the game than there ever has been. To be honest with you, as far as English goes.
Cocytus and Overlord. I mean Nazarick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Yep.
they have to be able to give you some because like for real, without this card or profiles like this, you're sitting there at level 1.
You just have to
dealing with,
crash
like Andy
in,
said, yeah, like a Kakudius, a 2-soul fucking building stock. It's they have to do something about it.
just to get rid of it at level 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the future of bombs.
By Slime.
2/1 bombs will start having like additional effects to get you to play 2/1 bombs, or honestly, like the future for English, although it won't progress all the way. Is the 2/1 killers will become better because they leave bodies, because you're gonna want to leave damage buffers coming up. I think in general, because that's like basically how JP is. You'd rather beat over stuff to leave damage buffers a lot of the time. Because it's just generally better, and you don't want to create open lanes for your opponent. But in English, as long as we have Love Live Sunshine unrestricted, there will always be merit to hard like zone removal. But so it'll never get to that point completely. But the rest of the meta, sans anti-LSS, will probably move towards the 2/1 killers in general. But I guess that's enough about this. We can move on.
Dope. We got Veneer looking quite sad. He is the other half of the merge combo. And on play, choose up to 2 Muscle Brain Crusader Darkness in your waiting room and put them on the bottom any order. Muscle Crusader is the
3/2
merge target from earlier. This is like the same exact thing as Gurren Lagann, I think.
Yeah, that's all merges like this.
This is Darling in the Franks.
Okay, no, all merge is exactly like this. It's actually Henology. Okay, all merge is like this.
They all work off a 2/1 that puts 2 of your
a 0 and a
big
2/1
boys onto the bottom.
Merge is dumb. Merge is good.
Rating this as in the merge pack.
Merge.
Pretty good.
You only run this when you run merge. It has no other value, so I'm not even going to give it a score. I've scored the other 2 cards is very good. You run this at like 4 of, 3 of, depending on how greedy you want to be. Package is extremely good. I don't feel comfortable like putting an actual score on it. Package is a quality package. So, all right, Ryan.
All right.
We've got Popular Period Begins, Cosma. When this card's placed on the stage from your hand, put a card from your hand to the waiting room and choose one of your opponent's characters and bounce it to their hand. So Konosuba
You
has
draw
a bounce
ditch.
now.
You draw one.
Oh, is that a draw?
Yeah, draw, ditch, bounce.
Draw a card, discard a card, yeah.
And then you discard a character to give 2,000 in soul.
Yep. On attack, discard a character, give this card.
Definitely a super good splashable yellow card to just if you have yellow in your deck,
you need a bounce.
A good idea to just probably throw one of this in your deck.
Yeah, if you need the bounce.
Bounce is getting better and better with all these wall backs.
Unfortunately, it's not the best bounce profile. It's not the Saber. It's not the Yoshiko. This is only an answer to like 1 card, whereas like the other ones are like a full field answer because they give your whole board a soul.
Yeah.
And only 500 power, but this can swing at 12. I think it's fine.
I think the Yoshiko is like an additional cost though.
Right? It's pay 1, ditch a character as opposed to ditch a character. So yeah, it's just like slightly muted, but still good. Like in the situation,
I actually kind of like it a little bit better.
You
don't have to pay an additional 1. Makes it easier to just play this on your kill turn and then still go for your finisher.
Well, the other ones are also on attack, so you can possibly build to the additional bounce.
I feel like with the other tools available in this toolbox here that this is adding, this card's like meh. It's alright.
Yeah, it'd be hard to find space for this card in terms of the other cards.
You're really wanting to get over something with this card. You're not.
It's worth noting that there's like a self-rest brainstorm in this set. That like it's just a self-rest salvage brainstorm, and it's red. So you have red fix for like powered up explosion magic, which is just I don't know. It's kind of cool with this card because you like get 2 soul bodies for 2, and then
running any of the red decks, you really wouldn't care for the bounce effect because you're just blowing it.
No. I'm saying it's like because you have access to powered up explosion magic, you could possibly play this card from your hand for free. So it'd be pay 2, get 2 2/2s, one with a burn 5 effect, bounce one of your opponent's characters, draw ditch, and then you could also ditch an additional card to get an extra soul. It'd be like a very efficient 2 bodies to like clear a lane.
That's true.
Like it makes the card a little better.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a better card in a different set, probably.
Yeah, I think that like for comparison,
it's probably just a bit redundant in Konosuba.
I would give the Yoshiko or like Saber bouncers like probably a B+, and this is just I don't think this card's as good as them.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice tech include if you need something to bounce, if you need to bounce something, but
yeah,
I feel like it's a one of.
At least it's playable.
Yeah, definitely a one of if you play it at all.
Yeah.
All right.
But like the red deck's not going to play it. They don't need it.
No.
Nah.
The clock shoot combo deck's definitely not.
All right, we got some choices coming up. We got this Cosmo. When thumbs up is placed in your climax zone, and this is in the front row, you may put the top card of your library in your clock. If you do, look at the top 2 cards in your library. Choose up to 2 cost 0 for low characters from around them. Cost 0, not level 0. Place them at separate slots on the stage. Put the remaining cards in the waiting room. Gross. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may pay 1 and run this to back row. So it's pay 1, run to back row that has a climax combo. Notably, people have played pay 1, run to back rows without the first effect. So,
Definitely gives it more utility.
Yeah, I mean,
how good is the climax combo like actually though?
I mean, it is potentially a 2-card tri-field at level 0. So in an extremely aggressive deck.
You could potentially put 1/0s out there too that run over, but I think that's a bit too high.
Yeah, it's way too high roll. Even on first deck where you're like favored to hit.
Even if you hard maul like
stuff
5 card, it's still
this is like
I think I would just evaluate it how I would a back row runner.
Yeah, it's like
I don't
cute.
think Konosuba really needs it. Like the board game's Megamine runner that they already have is already so good.
Yeah, not a huge fan of it. I mean, clearly the spicy plays. You play the combo, sack into 2 Kome, mill 8 for free.
Oh, broken, and they get to attack. Busted.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even have to -1. Yeah, I don't know. This is very aggressive.
They already have a better runner.
Well, if you think about it, right? So in a super aggressive deck where all you're doing is like you play like this in a 2-soul, right? And when it's bad to slam 2-soul, you can climax swap your 2-soul for this to swing for better numbers and possibly summon 2 free cards that will swing.
I suppose, but like,
but that's too cute for me.
Already has so many. They have so many good zeros. Like,
how do you run this over anything else?
Like, I feel like there's a bunch of other cards I'd rather tech than this.
Yeah,
I'll be that guy. Fucking Beastman, run a level 0 climax combo, 5 stock, turn 1, your turn, Carmen, go.
Okay, no.
That's right. You've been there, you've done that.
I have done that. But yeah, it's like clock yourself, which you wouldn't want to do later.
It has no place in the Konosuba level 0s. I'm sorry. And you're also gonna. What are you gonna do? You're gonna replace a.
It's an option
with
as a plussing 0.
No, I get that, but you're gonna replace a Konosuba climax with that? No.
No. And in fact,
you gotta accelerate every time you do it too.
Yeah. All right, let's just move on. Card's kind of whatever. All right, Drew, this is you.
Alright, level 0, when this card is placed from the hand on the stage, load up to 2 cards from the top of your library and put them back in any order. And then also when it's placed, choose one of your characters with either adventure or magic, and that character gains 1500 power for the turn.
Pretty decent for as a small yellow splash with Union level 1, since we don't have the broken give 2/5 on attack. Mm-hmm. Well, not broken. We just don't have the 2/5.
Like with the, with Union. You can like make sure your blind stock's gonna be.
If you need additional splash in yellow, has a good incidental other effect. But like, I don't know how many of this are you actually gonna run? Like 2, 1 or 2.
If you're playing.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like.
It seems to me like Konosuba doesn't really use the top card of their deck a whole lot.
All
as
it would
far
let
as-
you do is confirm that you need to like move a card if you didn't want to stock a climax or something. But like
or,
I don't
let
know.
you know if you want to brainstorm or something. But I feel like this type of effect can be really good in sets that really have a lot of top checking effects.
Or run standby. Like just
Yeah.
like just
I mean,
not.
in all honesty, like just because Konosuba has so many good level zeros doesn't make this a bad card. Like this card itself in any other set is like what the set's missing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, there's
there's
definitely
so many
plenty
other
of sets
sets.
that would kill for this.
Yeah, like this card is missing in so many other sets that would make it so good, like to make the level zero game scary. But like I feel like in Konosuba you don't really need it. I mean the top two is great. Top two is great. But I don't give a fuck about the whole plus 1500 power. Like, okay, great.
I'm only
Cool.
giving it the plus because it's a good yellow fix for greedier builds.
It seems like a really good salvage target. Like if you just like randomly hit a gate and it's like you already kind of have everything you need, you can just add this to your hand, and one of the two effects is probably going to be useful.
Well, I think in those situations you'd always grab climax swapper if you didn't already
It
have
seems
it.
like a good. It seems like a good jack of all trades. Just like one of you to have in like salvage heavy decks. Maybe like if there's like an 8-gate Konosuba deck or something.
There is, but I don't think you'd run
Like
that.
I could
in
see
that build.
I would definitely tech this as a one of in that type of deck.
You wouldn't, only because of how the level 1 combo works, where you don't care about beating over stuff, because you'll twin drive inside against most things to still do damage and keep hand, which is like the classic Psychono style play, where like they'll happily do that all game.
Any point in the game, one of those two effects has to be good, pretty much every turn.
Yeah, but I
And
just
it's on
don't think
level
you have the
0.
slots to dedicate to this, because in terms of zeros you would like to grab, even if you're running 8 gates, you would always grab.
You couldn't fit this as a one of.
You'd always grab Snotqua over this. You'd always grab Climax Swapper over this. You would always grab, what other level zeros would you grab? Like I would definitely grab. You'd always like grab additional level 1 combos. You'd be grabbing top end pieces because you're Konosuba, or grabbing additional early plays because all you do is spam early plays over and over again. Like I don't think I would grab this even if it was a one of over those other options every time. So I would run more of the other options over this. But I think it's fine. I don't think it has a place unless you're running old Union and your local meta needs that 1500 power bump, because it has good synergy with Union anyway. Because it gives you knowledge about like how you should sequence your attacks if you're not tripling.
Right.
If you're like trying to avoid like hitting a climax or doing something.
Yeah, I mean, or can confirm that your Union blind stock hits a clean card.
Yeah, at the very least, you have better knowledge about your compression, how to do the rest of your attacks, or possibly pass if you're like low in deck and you have climaxes left in there, which can be good plays depending. Especially with Konosuba, because you're blind stocking cards and revealing cards, and like Union is a devil. But yeah, I just can't see myself salvaging this over the other options.
You might be right. There's so many.
There's just way too many good cards.
So
like
many.
Snot was so broken, dude. Like,
Konosuba, yeah.
just like because when you play this, you're obviously just gonna crash it, right? Because it has no value to sit. If I'm gonna play a card that chumps and crashes, why wouldn't I play a free mill that might give me stock?
Yeah. I get you. You probably have something else better than this already. You don't really need a jack of all trades because
you're KS.
you have so many good options that cover all your bases.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
let's hit up this next card. It's a
Brian should do this next card.
Should
Did
I?
I do the last one?
This is his profile.
This
Drew did the
this
last
is
one.
darkness in the same room, in the same scene, I believe, as the last card.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
so.
Later in the
Crunchy-
day.
To be
Crunchy
fair,
Roll-
Darkness
It's later
was
in the
movie
day
for,
because of
like,
her
5
shadow.
minutes.
I mean, I don't know. Crunchyroll won't let me watch Konosuba, but it'll let Brian watch Konosuba. I don't get it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Remember that? I told you that at the store.
I do. Yeah.
Literally showed up. Thought I was reviewing. You're
All
like,
right, I don't want your life story, Drew. We have this
Well,
darkness
Andy.
an hour later in the
Andy.
day.
You're gonna get
During your opponent's turn, if all your characters are adventure or magic, this gets a level in 1500. 3000, level 1. Pretty
it.
good.
Tama.
Only
When
on
this is
opponent's
placed
turn.
from hand. Oh, that's when you only need it though, so it
Yeah,
lives.
that's fine.
Discard a climax card from your hand to waiting room. When you play it, if you do choose a adventure or magic character, and add it back to your hand.
Climax ditch.
I don't think this card really sees play. It does the same thing as Board Games Megamine, and that card's really, really good.
Yeah, I'd rather have the free runner, I think.
Unless you really need a yellow fix somewhere, and that Megamine would screw you up.
It's fine.
I don't think this card is bad by any means. I think it's
playable,
but there are better options in.
I think you'd play the fourth Megamine before you play the fourth board games before you play the first copy of this.
I don't think you even play 4 board games anymore.
You don't play 4 copies of board games for
like
sure.
ever. You play it as like the dumbest part about board games. You play it as a climax out. That's also a +0. Like I think that's the strongest part of the card. Whereas this is like, you know, it doesn't even have value later because if you swing board games into an open lane, you can at least run board games into open slots.
This is actually bad later in the game. You get a side attack target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
you give them a level.
What I meant by fourth copy was like.
Yeah, you wouldn't run this over the other one. I get it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, Brian.
All right, we've got Blunt Confession, Kazuma. At the start of your climax phase, choose a Demon King's army trait character or a character with Kazuma in name, and for the turn, that character gets 500 power. Then it has Act, pay 1, put this card under a character with Sylvia in name, face up as a marker. Look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose a level 1 or higher card, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, discard the rest.
Seems fine in the army deck. This is an interesting. It doesn't plus. It goes even.
Yeah,
but
it
generates marker and gives mill. So
I don't like that it the 2 effects don't really synergize, right? Because
they do.
You have to act during your main phase.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Is there a rest 2 brainstorm? Is that the thing for this deck? The deck runs a rest 2. And then
is there?
This is your other back row? I don't know.
Even still, that'd be pretty stock intensive. Because you're paying 1 to brainstorm, then you're paying 1 to put this underneath.
Well, it'd be like on turns that you don't, or stuff like... Yeah, I don't know. It is a little awkward. But, I mean, you obviously have to run this card at like a 4-of for the Sylvia deck, right?
Yeah.
Because it's necessary. It's necessary to generate markers. I'm pretty sure there's a card where it's necessary to generate markers.
Yeah, I mean, given that the Sylvia cards are okay, this card might be...
Yeah, I'm gonna slap it with the C-, I think.
I think the only thing that makes this card playable is probably how good the Sylvia cards end up being. Because here's the thing, right? Like 2,000 power is not big enough to live back to your turn. You can't like swing with this turn 1, expect it to live, and then use the act ability next turn when you have a stock.
Yeah.
2,000's pretty small.
Unless you're going to clean cut it with Konosuba's vanilla clean cut.
I think I give it the plus just because of its second effect. Like, top check 4.
It is clean cut. Like, Konosuba does have a clean cut. It sucks, but they do have a vanilla clean cut.
Now, can you even use this effect if you don't have a Sylvia on your field?
No. The cost.
No,
you have to fulfill costs for act abilities. You cannot fulfill the cost. It's the same thing as like...
That makes its potential even lower, I think.
Okay, but you're not playing this card if you don't have a Sylvia in your field.
Yeah, this card only gets run in the Sylvia deck. You can't play this.
Like, I'm sorry, but I'm also not slamming. Like, if I slam this at level 0, it's because it's the only level 0 I drew in my first hand. I'm not slamming this card to swing with it. I'm slamming this card to.
I like that it gives the best like compliment I can give this card is that it gives deck speed to a deck that probably otherwise wouldn't have on command deck speed. Which is like a good thing for anyone.
You can always just cash it out at any point in the game though too. Like as long as you have a
Sylvia
character,
any Sylvia, yeah.
The Sylvia deck wants to build a lot of markers, so you can always just get a filter and build that compression.
Maybe there's a back row.
Cash it out.
If there's a back row that you throw this under, this card gets a little better. So you can like stock up stuff across and move you through your deck.
Unless you're playing meetings.
We'll see. All right.
Next card.
Vonnier. This is placed on your stage in your hand. If you have another adventure or magic character for the turn, this gets 2,000 power. When this attacks, choose one of your characters. That character gets 1,000 power for the turn. Thanks, Luke. Or whoever translated that card. That was very funny.
Look how excited Vonnier is.
Bad.
Yeah, don't like it.
Bad.
6 can play.
Would rather play a normal Shimakai with no other effect.
The level 0 that scries to and gives 1500 is way better.
This is an
I'd
F.
rather,
It is, yeah.
F tier
rather play a
card. This is
bomb.
actually an
I would-
F.
much rather play a bomb.
This card sucks. All right, Drew, this is you. You get the titty card.
Oh yes, this looks like me on a Friday night. All right. You use the.
No, you on a
Card
Friday
back.
night looks like your ass in the kitchen.
No, dude. It's Tuesday.
Hey, come on,
Tuesday.
man.
I was in the
It's
kitchen
Tuesday.
today, man.
Oh, we usually record on Fridays though. That's why it messed me up.
I don't cook on Fridays, right?
I was incorrect.
I said I don't cook on Fridays, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Right. When you use this card's backup, choose a character with Sylvia in its name, and then choose a Paradise I Was Looking For Kazuma in your waiting room. Put a face up as a marker underneath that originally chosen card. It's a 1500 backup.
Brian, can you run the name
That's this card.
the name machine? It's this card?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you play this backup and it immediately goes under the Sylvia that you play it on as a marker instantly. Or a Sylvia on your field, because when you play backups, they instantly go to grave. And then the effect is resolved. So this is a counter, is a 1/1 counter that instantly creates a marker. So it's probably necessary.
Wait, which card? Which card?
This card. It's this card, specifically this card.
You play the backup, and then the backup goes underneath Sylvia as a marker.
Yeah, because
What? That's what?
But it's only a 1500 power backup.
The one costed 1500 though.
I'm sure there's a card that gets power with markers, so there's probably some synergy there, where it's probably a 1/1 2500 backup that also generates a marker, which is pretty good. But I mean, like, it's to be seen. I do like it conceptually. I'm just gonna slap all these Sylvia Cosmic cards with a C.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I like the idea behind this. It just depends what's getting markered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back around to Andy.
All right, cool. We got darkness even later in the day. It's nighttime now. When you use backup, you can pay 1. Choose a darkness daughter of the dustiness family in your waiting room and return it to hand. Is that this card, Brian?
No. So here's the story behind this card. This card,
Yeah.
this card bonds to a card that does not exist, and has been confirmed to not exist. So
Daughter of the Dustiness family doesn't, or
no, this
Okay.
card is going to be completely changed
they're
in
changing
English.
it, right?
This doesn't
right.
exist. It's literally
Like, the
DE.
darkness daughter
It's on
doesn't
the
exist.
card, yeah.
Does not exist. Card does not exist in
Correct.
English. This card will be completely different. This is the card you want to look out for in reveals if they do show it off, because it will be a completely different card probably.
Wait.
It'll probably
Does
respond
the-
for something else.
Does the dustiness family darkness, does that exist in JP?
Yes,
It's in re-edit, which we
it's
don't
in
have
re-edit /
And what does
Kadokawa
that-
sneaker.
What does that card do? Maybe they'll just throw that card in this set with this.
I doubt it, because
Yeah.
they already announced they're changing.
I'm
this
pretty
card.
sure that card is a climax combo. Can you look that up, Brian? I'm pretty sure that card is a climax combo. It's like a whole package.
Let me find re-edit.
I really hate when Bushiroad does that. I wish, I don't like when they change effects, like between the different languages, like a card.
Yeah,
will be
they
something
they
else.
did announce that they were doing this beforehand, like before
so many
pre-orders
people,
even
so
went
many people
out.
play mixed though. That's the
No,
Water-
but here's
no
the
one's
thing,
buying the
that's-
set for this fucking combo. But like, so many people play mixed.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, but
Awkward.
Darkness Daughter of the Dustiness family is a 2K backup for Adventurer or Worries trait characters.
okay. Oh, it's the one where she's getting held. No, the bridal darkness
Yeah,
backup.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a Sneaker Bunko card.
Oh, it's Sneaker Bunko. Okay.
Yeah. It was printed in Sneaker Bunko. Sneaker Bunko cards were reprinted and re-edit. But we can never get re-edit because the 3/5 drop searcher is too strong. That would replace Swimsuit Megamine. So, got to mill your climaxes during battle step. Yeah, unfortunate. They did announce this before pre-orders and stuff that this card was going to be changed. So, can't complain about that one.
Yeah. I
But.
mean, backup that bonds to other backup is pretty interesting.
We'll see what they do with this card. Maybe it'll be interesting, but I doubt it.
Maybe it'll just be a Leafa counter.
All right, Brian.
All right, what do we have here? This is card 17.
Upside
To the
down, dude.
To the Crimson Demon Village, Kazuma. If you are level 2 or higher, this gains the following ability: Act, sacrifice this card, choose this 2/2 darkness with no soul from your hand and put it onto the slot that this was in, and it ditch bonds to that same card.
Uh-huh.
Very
So,
cool.
what do we think about the 2/2 darkness with no soul?
I like it.
It's very flavorful,
I like
right? She doesn't
I
deal
like
any
it.
damage.
How
The
are you
2/2
getting over
12k?
it?
Yeah,
We'll
do you
we'll be
care
right
about
down
getting
on
over it? Do you even
What's that?
care? Do you care about getting over that card?
I mean, do you want to lose board every turn?
It doesn't. At that point, do you give a shit? Like,
Just use Kome to get
Yeah.
a climax every turn and just swing.
yeah,
with
just
a climax.
fucking crag it to
Bingo.
it. At worst, this thing swings for 1. Like,
Dude, I
got a
like it.
direct
I mean,
lane.
I like
the-
it.
the
It's
whole-
12k 2/2.
The whole point is that they're gonna have to suicide into this 12k because it's bigger than anything,
Well, yeah, I think that
and then
thing
you get
sucks.
the open lane on your turn. But I don't know, like
You're like
this
forfeiting
this
soul
Ultima
damage.
doesn't do anything other than bond to it, and that darkness doesn't do anything other than be big and not deal damage.
Wow, sounds exactly like
Not
the
really.
show. This is the most flavorful Konosuba card I've seen yet.
Yeah, are you saying darkness sucks?
I mean, she sucks at hitting shit.
He sucks in the show, period.
Yeah, this is flavor. Maybe there's something spicy with the 2/2, but
Can I make my
yeah, I'm
test
giving
score?
it an F for flavor.
No.
Well, I know. Okay, the bond is fine. I'll give it's a bond into a summon it for free. This part of it is fine. The other part is an F for flavor, I think.
There we go.
Just you all wait until I release my deck
running
tech
it.
featuring this card.
No, no, Brian. I put in my text box running it. You did not.
All right, I'll use your.
All right, this Vanir 0/0. When it's reversed, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one card from and place it on top of your library with the remaining cards in the waiting room. When this attacks or is reversed, so
Ooh.
so on
That's
attack
pretty good.
or on reverse, you
That's
either
pretty fucking good there, Bob.
Damage
Choose
scry
your tri-
2,
or
choose your trigger.
And interesting.
Choose your trigger and then damage scry on death
Yeah,
That's
It's
pretty
fine.
Cool, actually.
on reverse. That's
it's
I don't think it-
interesting.
handy.
I don't think it ever sees play, but it's cool.
Why wouldn't
Yeah.
it see play? That's pretty good.
You don't have the space for it. It's just
Yeah,
it's a 0 in Konosuba, and while as cool as that is, you would run Snotko every time over it. I think this directly competes for card that dies with Snotko, and that's worse than Snotko.
I don't know. This has really good long game value. Just the fact that you can prevent you from dying with the damage scry too, and that's
Yeah, what if you
I actually
Well, I
hate
guess
it.
They would just side attack it then, but if they need a reverse.
I actually
So,
hate it. I hate everything about it, actually. The on attack thing's fine. I'll give that a D+. Don't like the other part of it. These cards are only good when they have that additional ability when they kill something in your opponent's
Even
turn.
going into your
I don't like
second
when it
turn,
dies.
not bad. Even fielding this turn 1,
Mm.
swinging, they run it over. It lets you scry for your next draw.
I
Kinda
could
like
also
Carmen and
play
LoC.
Snotqua, where they would run over my Snotqua, and then I would get more stock, and I would say, hey, I'm Konosuba. Now you're getting triple Fumio
is not
combo.
guaranteed, right? You have to win a coin flip.
Yeah, and
for
at
that.
worst, she's free mill. So if she doesn't hit, free mill 2. I don't
I'd
know.
rather have scry 1 than mill 2 though.
No, bad timing. Don't like it. Can't control it. Opponent plays around it. Level 0. Not good late game.
I really like it.
Not good late game at all.
Probably just doesn't see play though.
Hmm.
That's Konosuba. But
I think this card's actually really bad late game. Doesn't do anything. Hands your opponent all the initiative. It's just a lane that you crash for a choose your trigger. And not to mention, this deck does not run standby, and therefore the top 2 card thing, or it doesn't have a thing it really cares about when triggering climaxes. It's just the raw climax effect.
It still lets you run clean. I mean, ReZero runs that
You
card.
have Twin
everyone
Drive
loves it.
available in multiple colors. You don't need this. Twin Drive is stronger than this.
ReZero runs choose your trigger.
No, they don't.
Oh wait,
Only Maids
no, that's
runs that
the
card.
look at top 2, add 1 to hand.
No, yeah, that's main phase. It's very
Different card.
Only Maids runs that card. Card's not good enough for normal ReZero. Yeah, I just don't like it. It's cheeky, but not good on a level 0. If this was just the first effect on a 5k level 1, cool. I'd say it's fine, but don't like the on reverse part. Bad timing.
I think it's better than this is better than a 5k level 1.
No, a lot
Way
worse.
better.
Doesn't kill anything.
Who cares? It's level 0.
Yeah, and I already said there are much better level 0s you could be running.
You get a scry going into your second turn. That's great.
You're not. Your opponent could do a lot of things to get rid of this.
Oh, my opponent could just not attack it?
Your opponent could bomb it.
My opponent could not attack it?
Your opponent could bomb it.
Plus?
Your opponent could bomb it very easily. So how the timing works.
You're running your bomb into my 1,000. You have less than 1,000 power.
Yeah, but like I don't think you actually generate any meaningful value off of the additional card in Konosuba in the early game, and in the late game, this card doesn't really do anything.
Konosuba might not need it, but like
in some other set, sure.
Playing Sunshine, like the Conan Scry is like huge.
Yeah, but the Conan has a lot of other busted effects and synergies that this card does not have because of how it's timed.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just like turn 1 Conan.
Yeah, but it's not the scry. Yeah, but that's not the scry. That's the rest of the card. That's incidental things that you can do with the card on top of the other busted things you can do with the card. I don't think it's comparable. And this is not scry. It's top check 2 rearrange, which is a little better and a little worse.
One, put it on top. Put the
you choose your next card. So it's like Surveil 2, I guess, going into your thing. You put one back, it's whatever. I don't know. Don't like it. I don't think the
better or worse depending on the situation.
I don't like the timing on it. If this was like a beefier card that just got it when it was getting reverses, I'd like it more. Or if it was just a 1/0 that was on attack that had some additional ability, I think as a level 0, it's wasted potential to have these things combined because the power deficit is too large.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I think that makes the card good.
I think it's just one of those cards where it's like if you're really into trying to like mitigate the inherent variance of the game, it like seems pretty good. But like there are just better cards that you can run, and there's no reason to play it.
So if you're like a no game no life player, you love this card.
Yeah, sure. Like, I think that it's. I think those kinds of cards in Weiss are like very trappy, and they waste cards. They waste slots in your deck. But like we've had this argument a bazillion times, and I'm sure our viewers don't want to hear it for the 40th time. But like that's just my stance on it. There are much better cards to be running. I guess we can move on.
This is you, Drew?
All right, we have Look at This Bulge. Looks like they found a answer to the Chaser from Goblin Slayer, because when it's placed on the stage from your hand, choose one of your opponent's characters until the next end of your opponent's turn. The character gains the following ability: this card cannot move to another slot.
This is the
That's
worst
really
form of
solid.
anti-runner I've ever seen.
I mean, it can prevent the Chaser from running in front of it, though.
Yeah.
Wow,
You can also lock something in place for your place for your reverse combo at 1 for your union or for whatever else.
I still hate it.
It's not great, but it's potentially spicy.
You kill their runner.
It
doesn't
kill your runner.
He's also just throwing his bulge out there.
If you're comparing this to base free runner, this trades with base free runner.
These stacked runners that have a bunch of other effects that are like 500, 1,000, 1,500 power. This actually gets over those.
Sure, and I think that only deck is in English is Bang Dream.
No, there's tons of them.
No, there's not. It's just Bang Dream.
Carmen,
just Himari runner. Dude. Yeah, Bang Dream sucks. And good Bang Dream decks run Chisada.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Yukina has never killed anybody, so.
I mean, this card, the timing on this card, I hate it. You run this card, it does nothing else. Because your opponent's character can't move to another slot. It's like the worst, like, field plus.
You can even lock their standby card in their back row.
Think about it this way. You can run this cool card called Swimsuit Megamine. The 3/5 oversize, already inherently a plus, that even when your opponent kills it, might live. That also just runs over fucking Goblin Slayer Chaser. If you really care about this one card.
This is more versatile than that.
It's not more versatile because it doesn't actually answer anything. You have to play 2 cards. You have to play 2 cards. You have to play 2 cards. You have to play 2 cards to answer 1 card. How does that work? And this card doesn't do anything.
I'm playing this. I would be already playing that other card. So that's not
okay, so you're going to waste deck slots at 0 on Konosuba on this card that outs cards that you already don't care about.
Whether or not I would, I don't think I'd run him as a lot. I think he might be an interesting tech as like a one of.
I think this card's
Like
actually
the ability to lock a standby in the back row.
Yeah,
F minus.
Honestly, to say it doesn't have utility is a lie, because like Andy says, you could just lock someone's fucking standby in the back row and be like, yeah, well, you triggered that for nothing. Now
that's interesting synergy, Drew. I'll bump it up to an F plus.
There we go.
Card's still garbage.
Andy, we won, dude.
The ability to lock down your opponent's 2/2 standby target is the only reason to play this card. You could answer your opponent's level zeros with literally any other card, any better card than this.
How come Drew says it and you plus it? I said it twice before.
Because you did not say the standby part.
Andy, I just did
He did say
Andy.
Oh, never mind.
But also,
I wasn't listening.
Andy, I just did his fucking laundry, so back off, all right?
Yeah, it's true.
Back off.
Oh, yeah.
I owe Drew one. Yeah, I don't know. I think that you can literally just play any other reasonable field plus.
I don't think you run this card, but if you are expecting to play, like, if your locals are all playing fucking standby and everybody's got to bug up their ass to play 8 standby, Fujimi Bunko, you're like, you know what? This is a 4 of. Here we go.
Dude,
Fucking
tech it, dude. It's Weiss. You can search anything whenever you want. Tech it.
You wouldn't. I don't think you would ever waste stock on tutoring this card. I don't think locking down your opponent's standby is strong enough to.
But I'm not even talking about this being
warrant
I'm not even talking about the primo build of Konosuba. If you're running let's say you're running some cheese ass.
Yeah, if you're running garbage, sure.
Yeah,
like it's an anti-runner.
If you're running the
I get it.
Stock or the trigger the marker build with whatever her name is in this card, and you're expecting a whole bunch of fucking standby, then
Darkness has better cards at 0 to be playing than this. Darkness has a 4K that's pretty good that you would run over this every time. This
is completely playable in a good deck.
I disagree. This card's really bad.
I actually think the only reason you ever play this card is if you're expecting a lot of Goblin Slayer.
This card would actively make every deck worse that it was in.
Konosuba does a lot of look at top 4.
We're done with this card.
You gotta take it incidentally.
Let's be done with this card. It's trash. We all know it.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate everything about this. So an anti-runner that just kills your opponent's card that's alone is better than this card by a lot. Don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's great. I think it's spicy.
I'm sure. It's spicy and it's got funny art and it does the anti-standby thing. But I think it's like this would make every deck that it was in worse.
I just want to get.
If I saw someone playing this card in their deck, I would understand why they're playing it, and I would give them many alternatives that would make their deck better.
Yeah,
I just want to get to this next card because it's my favorite card in the whole set.
Yeah, it's just no. I want to dig into it because like me and Andy are disagreeing again, and this is what people like. The reviews we're in. This is what people want to hear. I just think in terms of a field plus, right? There is no reason to ever consider your opponent's card or cards. It is literally a field plusing 0. You play a good one that is expected to live back to your turn in some way, and then you move on. You do not play additional cards to support your single field plusing cards that typically do nothing else.
Where this could incidentally be useful, though.
But why would you run cards that were incident? No, it's not incidentally useful all the time. It is useful when your opponent plays. It's useful in two. It's useful in literally only 2 scenarios. When your opponent plays a runner that you could kill with this card or another card on your field, or if your opponent plays a standby target they intend to move up to the back row, which, by the way, it requires your opponent to play standby from hand, which only one deck in the meta right now in English is looking to do, which is Fujimi, because they play 8 standby. The rest of them run 8 standby. The rest of them run 4 standby, and they are not looking to play it from hand. They only do it when they have to. They would rather trigger it because they have tools to pay out trigger climaxes.
You can lock down any character on your opponent's field.
You can't lock down.
Maybe it's a runner that's bigger.
It can't move. It doesn't say they can't tap it. It has no value played against back row at all, unless it is a standby target that they intend to move up.
Okay, you trap one of their front row runners and get a reverse with your level 1 combo. You can trap one of their characters that they otherwise might be able to.
Okay, but
move.
you're also sacrificing
Okay, but
a
you're
back
literally
row
okay.
slot or a
You
front
just
row
said the
slot
one
in
scenario
this
I
card.
outlined. You swear you can lock down a runner that you'll kill with another character or this card.
You hold something in place so they can't like one of their bigger like early plays or something, right? You put your early play that's smaller in a different lane, then they can't move theirs in front of yours.
And then you're crashing into this
That's
because you
crashing
played this
into
card.
anyway.
Then you're crashing into it.
But
That's
why
stupid.
would you play that over a bomb that we already saw in the same color? A 1/1 bomb that kills your opponent's early play.
It's all contextual that this is a level 0 and that you don't
Yeah,
have to stop for it.
Why? But that doesn't answer your opponent's
more
card. It
versatile.
just gives them a plus.
It allows you to plus 2.
No,
I'm
it
just saying,
doesn't.
like, incidentally, these are cases where
Because
the
your
card is
opponent
good.
can then run over. It's not that case isn't valid because your opponent can simply play a card to deal with your early play in the other lane because you didn't stop them from doing anything but moving their card. Which, if they were playing a tanky card, they weren't moving anyway. Your opponent, like most times, is not a goldfish and is going to set up their back row power and whatever they want going into their opponent's turn without the ability to move the card. We don't have a lot of early plays and stuff that move other than stand and swap. If there was like into Brian's Konosuba deck, I would play this card. I'd say that. Into Brian's Darkness deck, I would play this card so he couldn't stand and swap at level 1. And that would be, I think, the only time I'd ever even think about this effect.
Very, very rude.
Yeah, like it's literally like I think this card literally would make every deck you would put it in worse, like by its own inclusion, because there are so many better things that you could be doing in terms of a field plus, and the incidental value later in the game for these fringe scenarios is not worth running this card in any way, especially this set. It's just bad.
Brian,
it's
I
just
want
not
you to
good.
know I wouldn't run this card against you, even knowing what it does. I'd
No,
set it
but
on spot.
I think in most cases you'd want to play a card that's more generally useful over this, since this only has fringe uses.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's
I
not
hate that
even
you
good as a
both
one
choose
of.
fringe in less than a minute. That's
Because
kinda
you can't,
lame.
you don't have the way. Okay, and also when you're talking about your opponent's runner, it's even worse. How do you get this card? If you're gonna run of it, right? How do you get this card turn 0 without stock? You have to draw it. That means you'd have to run 3 or 4 of it.
Open it.
Yeah, sure. You just open a 1 of 50 cards. Yeah, no. Against the deck where you have no idea if your opponent's running runners or not when you sit down against them. Yeah, no thanks. I just no, like, no thanks on that for this card. That's why it's even worse, anti-runner.
I think it could be an all right one of.
I think we should move on,
Yeah.
please. Where are you? You never a shitty card. You know it's a shitty card, Andy. Shut up.
You can run it, Drew. You said this is your favorite card. Go ahead.
I love this card. I love this guy. All right. On play, pitch card. On if you
I don't even know what it does.
No, I'm looking at the wording is retarded. Anyway, you
It's
play
a
this card, you
bond.
pitch a card, you choose a forbidden weapon, which is this event, from your waiting room and put it in your hand. And that event is broke shit. Because if it's in your memory, I believe it goes to memory. Let me double check.
I can scroll
I think
down. What is it?
I think the event goes to memory. If there's 2 of it, you can send them to your waiting room. But if you have a certain card in your hand, you can set that instead to deal 4 damage or something like that. 5 damage. That's what it is. Put all forbidden weapon from your memory in your waiting room. Pay 2. Put all forbidden memory from your memory into the waiting room. At the end of your opponent's turn, if this is in your memory, you may pay the cost. If so, choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's waiting room, place them on top of their library in any order, and deal 5 damage to your opponent. When paying the cost of this card, you may put a welcome Kameko from your hand to the waiting room in place of 2 stock. So you don't have to pay the stock.
Put a card in there instead of like you pop this from memory and it's like laser, but you only get to put 2. You don't get to guarantee all the damage. It's very silly.
You also don't have to pay for that card.
I think this was being run in the decks that ran the Komiko that like shoves cards back at the bottom of your opponent's deck off a 2 soul.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was in the I'ma swing big numbers deck. Because you could do it at level 2. So like you like shove for
2500 level 0.
Well, the theory is like you play like triple Komiko, you like shove 9 cards back, you like hit them for 9, and then like on their new deck because your opponent milled out because that's like pretty common at level 2, then they have to deal with this over top of that, or whatever wherever your opponent's deck state is. Depending on your opponent's deck state. Could be cool. I'm happy this card has a Bonder. It makes it a lot more playable. The Bonder itself, I'll give it like a... the event is like... Tacky burn event. Kind of hard to evaluate.
Yeah, it's...
I love this card's getting
I'll give it like a C straight just because of the event Bonder. Immediately makes the event more playable.
Yeah, it is nice when events have other ways to access them aside from just drawing into them, for sure.
Dude, and it's just 2500 level 0. That's not bad.
I mean, yeah, you can swing with it. It is vanilla stats.
Love it.
It's solid, I guess, yeah.
And it's discard a card, so you can just pitch Climax. And give me my event back.
Alright,
Love
who did we skip? Was I skipped for Drew loving that card?
Yes, you were.
Okay.
You sure as fuck were.
Cost bomb, stock, and the drop salvage. Pretty cool combination of effects. If you want to run a stock bomb and in yellow, it's a drop salvage too. So
but it's also level 1.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a stock bomb.
That's all right, yeah.
No, it doesn't, because you'd only run this if you wanted a cost bomb and you were running yellow. So it has this drop salvage effect on it. So you run it for the first effect, and it has a consistency effect. Better than normal, but it's also a cost bomb. I think B- is more appropriate. It's better than C+.
It's one of those cards where it has like 2 good uses.
Depends on your meta.
There's like 2 different effects. One of them's going to be good, at any given time.
Yeah.
A lot of these Cosmo,
Don't feel bad
yellow cards are like this. It's like some Cosmo toolbox stats.
This is probably really good for like the Sylvia Cosmo deck because like it's just a tutor. It's just like a tutor
you know what?
that you shove in the deck. Like
I'm
gonna give it a B just for the Sylvia.
Good, though, right? Like,
they're better.
I think they're worse now than they've been.
They're worse just because people are considering them because Fate is running them, and I think that's the only reason why right now. But like, as more standby is a thing, they do become worse. But most of this,
like, it seems almost ironic, but like traditional waiting room suiciders seem better than, well, at least at level 1, seem better than like stock bombs or clock
depends
bombs
what they do. It literally all depends what you expect to play into.
The fact that it just hard kills anything, like more and more people are running those 1/1s that can't get reversed, or like,
well, it's
standby in general.
It's notable this versus the Sakura clock bomb, which is the other cost bomb, the most popular cost bomb in the meta right now. Is that you can't sack out of this not working by being at X0 because it's stock. Your opponent's always going to have stock. Right. Unless they literally pass turn to you at level 1, in which case, get fucked, idiot. Like,
what's the Sakura's other effect?
It's a climax ditch. It's broken.
It's
just filter. But I mean, like, this is also a filter ability. I mean, similar cards. Obviously, the other one's climax, you're earning 8 bar, so it's better, and like because of how the build works. But this is just better generally because it's just a drop salvage. So if you're in yellow at 1, I see no reason not to include this as an auxiliary level 1 because it's also a drop salvager. You don't feel bad about fielding this later.
Yeah, I suppose it's a good attack card.
It's better than like a.
Well, like you think about it too, it's actually pretty decent for level 1 combo because you play it, you pay 1, pitch 1, grab your like level 1 that was probably in your fucking clock from your waiting room because it's from waiting room, not just search. So like, I don't know. It's like me and end up with 3 fucking Shiros in your clock at level 0. That's fun. This card's great.
I like that it's a drop salvager that doesn't mill on play. I feel like every drop salvager in every set these days has like mandatory mill.
The mill to do something if you hit a climax effect.
Do something if you hit, give something
those 2
power.
effects generally work together. That's why
they do. Yeah, you fill the waiting room to salvage.
Mm-hmm. All right, well we can move on. Cool card. I think it's fine. Andy, I think we're back around to you actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Scared Darkness. If the cost of the character opposite this is 0 or lower, this does not reverse. At the start of the encore step, if you have no other rested characters, you can pay 1 and rest this.
That thing's only that's only a 500 power demerit.
I guess.
The auto ability of the zombie? That's fine.
Doesn't seem very good.
I mean,
oh wait.
No, this is just better than a 1-0. This is better than a 1155.
Hold on, no, this card doesn't get reversed if it's
cost zeros. It's the same as the 1-1 Sakura or the 1-1 Rimi. The 1-1 Rimi is definitely the better profile because they swing in for 6-5, which is always better since they don't die on the swing back.
What I'm saying is the wording of this gonna be when it attacks a 1-0, it doesn't get a reverse?
Yeah, it doesn't. No. It does not get reversed if the character across from it is cost 0. It doesn't. So it doesn't matter what it is. But this is made infinitely worse because there's no standby in Konosuba. So this is going to be like Sakura, where you have to hard play this. Would you ever hard play a 1-1 like this in Konosuba?
Absolutely not.
Don't think the answer is ever yes. But I don't think that makes the card bad. I like that if your opponent fields a random costed card and runs over the rest of your field into standby, you can keep it up. But it is kind of anti-synergistic. You don't expect it to die. You play it as a pay 1+. If you paid 2, I'm just gonna give it a C.
You play it if you need it.
Yeah, I like it. It's an improvement on the profile, I think. It's not Remy level good, but it's good enough, I think.
Yep.
All right, this card, Ryan, all you.
Heck, you have large 2/2 darkness, 12,000 power with no souls.
Next card.
Sick.
Yeah, wait. Do we actually want to discuss this? I don't like it. I think it's
discussed
spicy.
It a lot earlier with the,
yeah, we did talk about it a little bit with the bond earlier.
Yeah,
I think we hit all the points on that card.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's a card.
It is a card.
All right, this card, the Konami Code event. Hee hee ho ho hee ho hee ho.
Ho 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 hoi hoi.
One of the most important yellow cards in the set, because it's one of the only ways to hate on memory in the game, in either format, at all. Notably, in English, the only thing that really cares about memory right now is slime. Because memories know you won't be able to clear the condition because they have to have 5 or more cards of memory for the effect to work. And slime can simply sit at 4 cards of memory. They just won't send. They only send 2 Shizus. They won't send the rest of them. So, or just won't field them. So they have ways to clear, play around in English. Thankfully, this card has additional modes that make it not bad as an include. You do have to have a Cosmo on the field to play it, which is more of a deck building restraint than you think. It's hard to find good Cosmos that sit on the field that you want to run. A lot of people were running Brainstorm to fit this in, the Tap 2, or the Snipe Cosmo as their plus or whatever. Yeah. So it's a salvage, or bounces one of your opponent's front row characters, or has the memory thing. So if you want bounce in yellow, you're probably better off running 2 this event than you are running one of the other Cosmos.
Yeah,
kind of bad.
It's just you need so many Cosmos. There's a requirement of Cosmos you need in your deck to support this.
Well, you put one in the background card today.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you need to see it. It's basically, Carmen said, you need to fit Cosmos into your deck now, which is easier said than done.
God, if someone played this against me with the Shizu early play requirement for Slimin', I'd be so pissed.
Well, something to note is this card only discards all the characters from the opponent's memory if it hits. It doesn't hit Mask. Mask stays in memory.
Well, Mask doesn't matter.
It's only characters.
Oh,
it's only characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta dump the Shizus. So wait, so you could No, so it's cards. So
cards in memory, but it only gets rid of the characters.
Yeah, so you would only dump the Shizus.
Yeah, so like like Slime does, you grab all your masks.
You might not be able to activate this in time against Slime, though. Do they have 5 cards in their memory at that point in game?
You gotta be level 2.
Yeah.
You have 7. You have 7 at that point.
You
and
would.
3 of them are at least Shizus.
Going into level 2, you would have somewhere between 4 and 7 memory on average, depending on how your level 0 went. If you went first, you likely have somewhere between 5 to 7 memory.
5 to 7, yeah.
Yeah, if you went first, because with 4 Ricky and 3 Chloe, the chances that you don't Ricky Chloe mask going second or like on your follow-up level 0 turn is extremely low. Like one of the most powerful plays you can do. And then you probably have another mask because it's a 4 of, or you've set up double mask. You like played a Chloe going first because card's broken. So they're probably gonna have it. Like if you hold this card, okay, I'll put it this way: if you're playing Konosuba and you're running this card and you open it against Slime, you hold it because I think you're very favored to. It's worth giving up your sculpting because you're gonna hit it like before they go to level 2. I think most turns.
You can always just like see where the game's at and like cash it out for like another copy of your level 1 combo, or like turn it into any other character, or like bounce something. Has other uses too.
Yeah, you can, but this card is. I'd be so pissed if I got this played against me.
The Cosma again is very hard to fulfill. Like it's a lot harder to fulfill because they don't stay on field.
There are a couple good ones.
The snipe one's probably the best one that you could run in high enough counts for it to be like splash it, because you want to splash this card in like any deck, right? It's like a tech card. It's like an answer. You don't want a deck build around running this event,
right?
Because it doesn't have a bond, so you have to run it at higher counts.
It's still
Cosma with
it's still a bounce or a salvage.
No. I mean, you can run it in the Sylvia deck pretty easily.
It's still a bounce and a salvage. It makes AOT. It lets you bounce the AOT Aaron.
You can't target anything on your opponent's board. You can't target AOT. Or are you talking about at level 1?
What are you talking about? Level 1.
Oh, well, they're going to plus anyway.
Yeah. How?
Because they run for Krista. So they're always hitting level 1 first. And like a bazillion runners.
And you don't get to use that fucking gear. I win.
This isn't a counter.
Not a counter, yeah.
No.
He's saying in main phase. It like opens up that line of play.
In my main phase, I play this card, I bounce your fucking Aaron that gets to bounce back to your hand. And be like, alright, well, now you don't get to use that gear you just got back. Good job.
I mean, they'll just use it the turn after then. Whatever. That's like a terrible line.
You guys are all fucking hard for AOT for no goddamn reason. Everybody's so fucking hard for that stupid deck.
Never gonna be bad.
It's not even good.
That's
good. Out for Aaron. Dick's out for Aaron.
No, it's not.
Dick's out, dude. Dick's out for Aaron.
It's not good. Everybody's so. But yeah,
this card's really important. This was the first anti-memory card, and we will likely see more of it in the future. Based on how literally every set design coming out and the entire JP meta is going. So it's an important card as it stands for the English meta. I'm only going to give it a C+ because I don't actually think it's good enough at fighting Slime. I think Slime could very easily play around it and not be impacted as much as you'd think. Yeah. I think they could play around it very easily.
I'm with you on this one, Carmen. It's just like it's a step in the right direction, but it's not.
It needs this effect needs printed on a character, dude. It needs printed on a character, and it needs to be like dump both opponents' memory. It needs to be extremely aggressive, I think, for it to actually work, and it needs to be tutorable. And that's when you see it actually work.
We'll get to that point.
If I'm playing against Konosuba and I attack, and let's say he cancels it, and I see this card, and then I'm not playing a mask. I'm not. I'll play maybe one, but I'm not gonna play. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not
instead of Rickying for Chloe, you'll just Ricky for Shizu. There are lines that you can do that are objectively worse for the deck, but against this card if you see it.
Yeah. If I see this card, then I'm like, I'm just gonna grab all my Shizus, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, your only real way to get Slime with this card in English is to get it in your opening mulligan, death grip it, and hope your opponent never sees the second copy.
Well, I don't know. Is there a way to bond to it?
No, that's the first thing I said. There's no bonder to it. You have to hard draw it.
Huh.
So you can't just run one and like hide it. Yeah. All right. Well, that was yellow. I hope you all enjoyed it. Yeah, that's the last card. I guess we'll see you guys in red. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. You guys have a good night.